I'm Jessica Newton, and I live in Gainesville. Mr. Lateef and some members of the board, I understand it is your intention to limit comment time from parents in future meetings, and I find that awfully suspicious, especially after reading texts between you and a member of the Prince William County School Board Equity Committee. As a tax-paying, property-owning resident of Prince William County, I have to ask myself why. The reason is because you have no intention to get our input, as stated yourself. I don't need to repeat your texts. If you don't want these meetings to light up like neighboring counties, perhaps don't lie to the parents about how we are not going to do critical race theory in one meeting, then say this off the record when that is quite literally your exact intention. Now, let's talk about masks. I just found out today, apparently this was left up to the new superintendent to decide, which is unlawful as she is not an elected member of this board, but rather an appointed official. But nevertheless, when you decided not to give parents the choice whether or not to mask their kids, you put our young, vulnerable children in a very unpredictable situation. My teenage daughters hate wearing masks, but would prefer not to fight or have to defend their beliefs to teachers and staff on a daily basis. To be honest, I think it's the lesser of two evils for them. Putting my children in a situation where they will be constantly bullied and segregated, more publicly shamed because of our religious beliefs as a family is totally unacceptable. Our girls are 17 and 15. They have the ability to make that choice on their own, but my 3-year-old son is a different story. The only thing he wants to do, and yes, it's a Prince William County school, is go to school. He asks me every day. To force my son, who's learning how to communicate with teachers and children of his age, to put a mask on his face is not going to happen. Nobody has the authority over my son's body or over my son's face. But you mean to tell me that against the Virginia code of some code, I don't know, that they aren't allowed to help my son put on his clothes or help him in the bathroom, but they can try to wrangle a mask on his face? I think not. You're putting teachers in a terrible situation to have to combat parents back and forth with paperwork stating my specific religious beliefs that are not required by the state of Virginia. You're creating a hostile environment for my poor son because his teachers are so frustrated with me because I will not stop. I know my rights. I know my son's rights. I know my daughter's rights, and I will always stand up for them regardless of how small you make us feel because of how polarized you have let this situation become. Yes, you, making us jump through endless hoops. I'm seriously considering putting a listening device in my son's backpack just to make sure he's not treated like a different person at the age of 3 for not wearing a mask, AKA bullying. We're zero tolerance in this county, yes? This situation is that scary for me, and I should never have to worry like that as a parent. Many of you on this board who are supporting this insanity should be ashamed of yourselves. You owe it to the public, to be honest and open. Don't lie and state things behind our back as if this is some kind of joke. You work for us whether you like it or not. Start acting like it before you're relieved of your duties.